Then I took a smidge and applied it down there.
This one's wife. She's inconsolable. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. As a consequence of ways and means that I'm not at liberty to reveal to you, I am able now to go live to the 47,000 bathroomed Monty Shitshow mansion for a live feed of This One's Wife. Here we are. Oh dear. Somebody doesn't sound very happy, but that's quite enough of that. Why is this one's wife sobbing? Presumably she's fallen to the floor and perhaps the tears are flowing from her left eye. Might it be the case that her father's health problems have taken their toll and he has passed away? Might it be that she's just been served with divorce proceedings from Harry? Perhaps something has happened to one of the children. Might it be the case that she went to the ATM and it told her that she was overdrawn and wouldn't give her any money? Perhaps she had a sudden moment of realization that all of her clothes looked terrible on her. Perhaps William failed to reply to her latest love letter to him, or maybe someone simply took away the mic. Well, whilst you might think those are certain things that could cause this one's wife to cry, the answer has been provided to us courtesy of Christopher Sharp, writing for The Express. A royal commentator has claimed that this one's wife has been left inconsolable after criticism from former Vanity Fair editor Tina Brown. Earlier this week, Tina appeared on the Ankler podcast and gave her opinion on the Duke and Duchess of Sussex and criticised the California-based duo. She described this one's wife's media strategy ideas as total crap and claimed that Prince Harry was following her blindly like a child. See parts passim. According to royal commentator Neil Sean, this one's wife is inconsolable with tears and at the same time outraged over Tina's comments. Now, once again, I'll leave it up to you to determine the veracity of that observation as to whether it's accurate. I'm just relaying what people are telling you and, of course, providing the interpretation vis-a-vis a narcissist. Neil Sean added, according to a source, this one's wife was bereft because she'd admired Tina Brown and in particular read her books simply because of her connection to Princess Diana, Diana, Princess of Wales. And get this, because she wanted to find a better connection so she could understand her husband, Prince Harry, and how he felt about his mother. Speaking about this one's wife on the podcast, Tina explained in greater detail her opinions of Harry and this one's wife, saying, the trouble with this one's wife is that she has the worst judgment of anyone in the entire world. She's flawless about getting it all wrong. She really is. Her issue is that she doesn't listen. She has all these people, asks them their opinion, and then doesn't follow it. She does what she wants to do. All of her ideas are total crap, unfortunately. Tina also issued a damning verdict of Prince Harry, adding that he was very good at being Prince Harry, and that while he was the most talented royal when it came to being a prince, that was all that he knew to do. Accordingly, after getting slammed by Tina Brown, this one's wife apparently is inconsolable, according to Neil Sean. What do we make of this? Well, could she be inconsolable? Well, at the end of the day, it's a criticism from somebody that this one's wife doesn't actually know. And in the general scheme of things, to be inconsolable as a consequence of something that's been said about you by somebody that you don't know, even though it is critical, does seem to be something of an overreaction. But that's precisely the way that the narcissist behaves. The response is often disproportionate. Those of you that have been involved with a narcissist will easily recall many instances of where the narcissist has erupted in circumstances where you either didn't know what the problem was, or when you found out what it was, you were left confused because the narcissist really made a mountain out of a molehill. Their response was entirely disproportionate. But, as you've come to learn from my work, what you witnessed is the manifestation of that heated, ignited fury. And where you wound or challenge the narcissism unleashes that heated fury to propel the narcissist to address the threat to control that has been caused by what you have done or failed to have done. And with the less evolved narcissists, it's essentially like opening a pressure valve and boom, all of that pent-up, heated, ignited fury or cold fury comes rushing out, with the consequence that you're on the receiving end of a real tongue-lashing, possibly physical violence, shouting, argumentativeness, and so forth. Accordingly, this one's wife may well present a picture of being inconsolable. Indeed, when she has spoken in the past about how she has dropped to the floor sobbing, it's not a case of, I was a little bit hurt by what had happened. No, there has to be the melodrama. There has to be the melodrama because it's demanded by her narcissism as part of the pursuit of the prime aims. Everything is a performance. Everything is a show. Everything is put out there for the purposes of gaining a reaction and asserting control over people. Whether you accept Mr. Sean's observation as accurate or not, the point is that a narcissist could well react to criticism in this way. As I mentioned earlier on, ordinarily, a standard response to this would be, well, that's unfortunate that that person has criticised me, but I don't really know them and they don't really know me. It's a shame and they're wrong, but I'm not going to get too worked up about it. It's not like I'm close to them. And some people might be in high dudgeon. Who does she think she is criticising me? That's entirely wrong, but you'd move on. But for a narcissist, the threat to control that's posed by that adverse comment is particularly problematic because, first of all, you have the comment itself, which is challenge fuel. Then it gets reported on, which is a repeated difficulty for this one's wife, and what comes when you court the media machine. In order to gain that control, to access fuel and residual benefits, etc., this one's wife's narcissism has led her to overexposure. It's caused her to court the world's media because her narcissism has basically got greedy. All of these people that can be accessed all around the world, let's do it, let's have it, let's drink deep of all that fuel. Now that would be okay were she a greater. But as a mid-range narcissist, the problem that she has is that she can't assert control effectively over all of those people because her facade fractures and there are so many people waiting, in effect, to scrutinise and fact-check what she does, it therefore results in repeated criticism of her. And therefore, her narcissism isn't able to deal with that effectively. So the overexposure results in her being not only criticised in the first place, but there's an amplification of that criticism. And it's happened here again. The criticisms from Tina Brown were, a week, 10 days ago? And they're regurgitated here by the Express. So the threat to control pops up yet again. And it would appear that there has been an attempt at a pity play by this one's wife with the suggestion that she was inconsolable, the overly melodramatic reaction of the narcissist to some criticism. Alternatively, it didn't happen, and the fact that she's being portrayed as a drama queen is a fresh criticism in itself. Accordingly, once again, she fails. It's either the case that she was inconsolable, which is a completely disproportionate response, which when reported on has people going, ugh, goodness me, and also it regurgitates the substance of why she was criticised in the first place. Or it didn't actually happen, and therefore she's not only criticised in terms of what Tina Brown had to say, but she then gets criticised in terms of people thinking this is the way that she behaved when she actually hasn't. And accordingly, it's another threat to control. And this is a repeated problem that this one's wife now has. Because of the extent of the overexposure, and that there is a cottage industry that exists in terms of analysing what she does and speculating about what she's doing and where she might be and what she will do next, it invariably leads to so many people saying things about her which will threaten her control. Not only is this across social media, you see it in mainstream media. At the moment, this one's wife is not really doing anything, so she's being quiet. But all of these news outlets and various other places across social media will still continue to talk about her. And invariably, in order to do so, it leads to people speculating. And because she's not particularly popular, a lot of this speculation is critical. For instance, it'll be, has she separated from Harry? Are divorce proceedings on foot? Is this a professional separation because they're failing at what they've been doing in terms of their brands? And thus, it doesn't help her, because all of this speculation engendered by this cottage industry threatens her need for control. If this was a genuine reaction, in the sense that it has been reported correctly, it once again shows the overly melodramatic response of a narcissist being thin-skinned to criticism, and shows the way that it's always a performance. The way that, oh, I was inconsolable. What, just because somebody criticised you? It's not a surprise. This is the way that if it did actually happen, this one's wife does behave, because as a mid-range narcissist, she also utilises pity plays in order to engender sympathy for the purposes of asserting control and drawing fuel. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.